Okay, so here's a quick video on the old compilers exam. It's going to walk through each question and kind of explain what I'm doing on each problem. So for number one here, draw an abstract syntax tree for the following C code. And we have just a couple, a function and a couple variables. And really what I'm looking for here is, can you identify what an abstract syntax tree looks like and identify the main parts of it, as they should be represented in Clang. Though again, the actual nomenclature is not super important, though I'll try to use it here. So our top of the function, or top of the tree would be function decl, and that would be main. So that's the declaration for main here, and that's what would be at the top of the abstract syntax tree. And then we'd have a compound statement, which is the body of the function. That's some part of the tree. In that compound statement, we would have probably a decl statement, which is the int b equals true. Within that decl statement, we'd have a var decl, and we could expand that, potentially to include the initializer as well, though it's not super necessary there. Really, just the decl statement's probably good. And then we have an if statement. That if statement has an expression, and that's the if b, and that's probably listed as a unary expr as the condition, and then we'd have a compound statement as the body of the if statement. We don't have an else here, so it doesn't have a second compound statement, and within that we would have a binary operator, which hopefully we're painfully familiar with binary operators at this point, and that would be the b equals false. So that covers all of the code except for the final thing, which is the return statement. And so that would be the final thing that we have there, and that's what our abstract syntax tree should look like. So really, again, all I'm looking for in this type of problem is, can you identify, what would be in the abstract syntax tree? You're using sort of the abstract names for these types of statements and expressions. You're not writing like int b equals true as part of it, right? Because that's not abstract, that's the actual code. And that you can kind of identify something close to what this would be called in Clang or some other, abstract syntax tree representing language. So that's for that part. Let's go on to the multiple choice questions. So let's walk through these real quick. So abstract syntax tree generation is part of the front end of the compiler. That happens as part of Clang, not as part of LLVM. And then the second one, if an AST cannot be generated, there is a what error in the code. That's a syntax error. Right, if we can't generate a proper AST, that means the user wrote something that we can't deal with on the front end, which means that it is a syntax error. An AST is a linear, graphical, or hybrid intermediate representation. Graphical is the best answer here. Hybrid can be okay, potentially, if you justify your answer. Though really graphical is the case because we're representing everything as this tree structure. And then finally, the method to visit function declarations in an AST in Clang this is kind of a free point if you did the labs, and this would be visit function decl. And again here, really what I'm looking for is visit something. If you don't have function decl exactly correct, I'd probably still give credit. So that's it for problem one.